What is up, Flash fans? My name is Tom from ZD Comics, and I'm going to be talking really fast in this video because if you didn't know, recent news updated for the Flash TV show. Barry Allen, Grant Gustin, is out of the TV show. I will be taking his place as Tommy Fasano, the new super duper Flash. Anyway, my name is Tommy Fasano from ZD Comics, and welcome to my review of Flash Season 1 Episode 6, titled The Flash is Born. And it makes sense a lot in this video because Flash is finally getting his name. Don't worry, that's not a spoiler, and if you didn't know, I'm going to start out with my non-spoiler review. Yes, the Flash finally gets his name in this video. It's kind of obvious the Flash is born. Thank God, the city will eventually know, everyone will eventually know that Barry Allen is the Flash. JK, no one's going to know that Barry Allen is the Flash, but everyone is going to know that the figure, the Flash, the superhero, the Flash is alive, and he's going to be having the name the Flash. Thank God, the streak is over. There's no more the streak. Actually, the Flash TV show's Twitter announced that the streak was a bad name itself. They even hinted that in the TV show. It was stupid, and now we finally get to see the Flash, and he is finally born. So I'm going to start with my non-spoiler review. Let's get started. I give this episode a 6.5 out of 10. It was alright. The only reason I didn't really like it is because I thought it was singular. A lot of the episodes so far kind of were jumping around on what they were focusing on, but this episode was very singular. It was very focusing on Tony Woodward. Tony Woodward is basically your average mutant, metahuman, whatever they want to call him. He was thrown into this pot of, I guess, steel for some reason with what he was working at, like some plant. While the explosion was going on, now he can turn his body into steel. That might remind you of some superheroes in the DC universe. Don't worry, Tony Woodward is none of them. His real name in the comic books is Gurnder. He is a supervillain of the Flash. Literally, he has no comic book history. Very unpopular supervillain, probably like E-list, C-list, M-list, O-list. Some really low list down there. He's not popular at all, but they made him seem pretty cool in this episode. They actually made him a childhood villain, as you could say, because basically when, Barry Allen was a little kid and he was in grade school, Tony Woodward was also in his grade school and he was the bully, So you've probably seen that thousands of times, like, I don't know, Spider-Man movies and everything like that. Little kid was bullied, little kid grows up to be a superhero, the kid that bullied him grows up to be a supervillain, yada yada yada. Basically, they threw that in this episode. It was small, it's not going to grow into anything really big or complicated. Tony Woodward's pretty much done. He is in the jail cell at Star Labs. He's not in an actual jail. Eventually, they'll probably stop housing villains in their own cell, which is really not superhero-like. People usually put their supervillains somewhere else and don't capture them themselves. That's kind of weird, but hopefully they change that. I don't really care. Anyway, his real name is Gurnder in the comics. It's a really weird name. It's spelled G-I-R-D-E-R. What the hell? I don't even know how to pronounce that. It's like Gurnder. Like, what? That's just stupid. Anyway, during this episode, Harrison Wells says, wait, I don't want to say it. I don't want to spoil it. Anyway, let's get into the spoiler review. I give this episode 6.5 out of 10. Let's jump on to it. Anyway, in this episode, this is a spoiler, by the way, so if you didn't see the episode, go watch it. Come back to this part of my review. Anyway, Harrison Wells spoils the beans. He says, wow, this guy is a man of steel. And I was like, oh my god, Superman. Obviously, he wasn't hinting towards Superman, but they gave the hint of Man of Steel. They really emphasized it. The way he said it, the way his voice shaked, they literally put all, the light and fixes everything so everyone knew that he said the words Man of Steel. It was pretty awesome. Great Easter egg right there. I loved it. Anyway, Tony Woodward was an alright villain. I did like the idea of just a man who's his powers weren't that weird. They made sense almost. Now, other villains made sense too. Other ones were creating weather and everything. This one was pretty simple, I guess you could say, and I liked it. It was simple, but the Flash was like, damn, I really can't do anything. This guy's just, impossible to beat. But anyway, at the end of the episode, he actually goes up to Mach 1.1, which is around 100, I think, 849 miles per hour, which created the sonic boom. He created a sonic boom. It didn't look as cool as I thought it would be. I thought we would kind of see, if you did not ever see what a real sonic boom looks like, you can look it up on YouTube. Actually, there are planes that my dad creates, if you didn't know that. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. Anyway, for my dad's company, he creates the planes that do, the sonic boom in the army and everything, F-16s and everything. That's a quick little fact about me there for you. But anyway, if you didn't really see a sonic boom in real life, it didn't look like the one we saw in the Flash TV show. I thought they would kind of replicate that, and we would see, a huge boom that would shake the city or something like that. I guess that's just way too much awesomeness for just one small scene in a random episode. I guess they would say that for a season finale or anything. But speaking of a season finale, we will be getting a preview of the Arrow vs. Flash episode in the next episode. And 2 episodes from now, I think, will be the Arrow versus Flash episode. Holy crap, that's awesome. And by the way, the 9th episode of The Flash is titled The Man in the Yellow Suit, which hints, of course, to the Reverse Flash or Eddie Thawne. Now, we don't know if Eddie Thawne, who is dating Iris West currently, we don't know if he will be the Reverse Flash. It could be Harrison Wells. We honestly have no idea. But anyway, talking about, Harrison Wells, Eddie Thawne, and the Reverse Flash, and Joe West, let's get into the second part of the episode, which would be, of course, everything going on there. So it looks like Joe West, after seeing... I think it was after he saw Barry save someone, basically what happened is Tony Woodward was driving a truck. There's a kid with headphones that for some reason could not hear the police sirens. Come on, I put beats on before and I can hear police sirens. Anyway, some kid was running in front of a truck or something. Flash saves him, and Joe's just like, wow, the Flash saving that kid reminds me of, Barry getting saved when he was a little kid, when his mother died. So basically, he had that thought that came to his head and everything, and he decided to look back at the murder cases of, his mom and everything, and he started to think, Harrison Wells came into the city at the exact same time that his wife died, or sorry, Barry's dad's wife died. And he was thinking, maybe Harrison Wells is connected to everything, which I personally think he is. Now, Harrison Wells is not in the comic books, so who he is unknown as of right now. If you're a non-comic book reader, then a lot of stuff is unknown. If you didn't know, Eddie Thawne is the Reverse Flash. Spoiler alert, but everyone in the comic books knows that. You guys are probably comic book readers because my channel is mainly comic book stuff anyway. Let's not get off topic. Let's get back on to the subject. So anyway, Joe West decides to look into Harrison Wells. He ends up deciding, put a little X on the market right there. He says, you know what? Harrison Wells is not connected to the murders of Barry Allen's mother. But at the end of the episode, we get to see the Reverse Flash, or the man in the yellow suit, the same man who killed Barry Allen's mother, come into Joe West. Joe West is, sitting in his family room. He comes in, gets a picture of Iris West, his daughter, stabs it to the wall and says, stop or else. And he was just like, oh my god, holy crap. Anyway, Joe West is a great actor. I wanted to point that out. His facial expressions are priceless. Now, I don't mean priceless as funny, but I mean really good. They're just good acting right there. You can see the acting from his face, not just from how he talks. He's almost one of those actors that don't need to talk too much. You can kind of just look at their facial expressions and you get the vibe. You create that vibe and you just understand. You're like, wow, he's mortared right now. He's like, what the just happened? What the hell? So anyway, he knows that the guy who killed Barry Allen's mother is not only true and real as crap, but is still alive. Now, it could possibly be Eddie Thawne. Now, that would be pretty crazy because anybody who's not a comic book reader and is not reading this review right now, and when they do find out that Eddie Thawne is the Reverse Flash, they'll probably be pretty impressed. They'll be like, wow, that's crazy. Because, honestly, Eddie Thawne does not... I don't see any villainous thing in him. Like, if I was not a comic book reader, I would just think he's just a good old guy, just a good old guy. So, they're really going to shock some people. They're not going to shock me, of course, or any comic book reader, which is kind of sad. I always thought about that. For all these comic book TV shows we read, we are kind of not the same level as a non-comic book reader. I mean, when I'm watching, especially Gotham, like, I know so much. Like, I walk into my, room and everything, or, sorry, I go into school, and people are like, yo, who's Harvey Dent in Gotham? Is he gonna be someone? I'm like, yeah, he's gonna be Two-Face. They're like, whoa. I'm like, what if I didn't tell that person that, and they end up finding that later? I mean, it's just... It's crazy, knowing more than other people, especially knowing that Eddie Thawne is going to be the Reverse Flash. So that happened at the end of the episode. We're probably going to get to see him and more about that in the 9th episode, which I'm guessing that the season finale, not the mid-season finale, is all going to be about the Reverse Flash and everything, which was pretty awesome. So anyway, I give this episode 6.5 out of 10. I think I pretty much talked about everything besides one thing, and that would be Firestorm is alive. He has been saving people because we found out that Iris West, with her blog and everything, was searching up other people who have been saving people. And one of them was a man that is on fire that doesn't, stop being on fire. And Barry's like, oh, you're finding the fireman, or something stupid like that. Anyway, he was obviously, or she was obviously referencing Firestorm, who is awesome because guess what? We're not going to be seeing Firestorm's origin. We're going to be seeing him as an already superhero. Now, I'm just wondering, like, what city is he in, or where is he? Is he maybe in, like, Texas? Maybe he's not in a city. Maybe he's saving people in, like, small town communities, or that's why he's not getting this big press like the Flash is. So anyway, that's just a good, hint towards you. We're going to be seeing Firestorm real soon and the Reverse Flash. Anyway, what were your thoughts on this episode? If you have any comments or questions, please post them down below. Like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. My name is Tommy from ZD Comics. I will be featured in the next episode of The Flash, by the way. I will be coming The Flash. Barry Allen, Grant Gustin is out. Anyway, thank you for watching.